of like our lives, you know, because like it's been a while since people have seen us.
It has been a while. It has been quite some time.
Been out there with the folks, the fine folks at home.
The fine folks at home.
Like I'm a little close to you, just a little bit.
We can get snuggly.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Two Guys with Raging Goals. I'm Mikey, and this is Adam. And every Friday, so for the last like 4, we come together. One of us brings a topic to this table, and we discuss it for your enjoyment. If you like that, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, anywhere that these things are streaming in right now.
Oh yeah, all of them.
You can also throw us a couple bucks at Patreon. We haven't redesigned the Patreon yet, you guys. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry.
Life's showing
the
up.
STL thing, like, boy.
It's
wow.
Yeah.
I'm working a lot of hours.
Yep.
A lot of hours right now. And fourth quarter is like coming, you know? Might not be till January that we get that Patreon refresh. But
that's
like,
okay.
them live shows, they're coming. They're coming. You can also follow us every Tuesday on Facebook. Find our Two Guys with Raging Goals Tuesday.
Two Guys Raging Tuesday.
That one.
With me.
With Adam Davis. Face and face.
Face and
on
face.
Facebook.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Sometimes it starts at 5:03. Sometimes Mikey doesn't show up till 5:07.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Who knows? Sometimes I sleep through half of it.
Yeah. It's like rolling the dice.
Oh my goodness.
I'm looking up, there were, so like, this is a side struggle, sorry. I listen to a lot of Tim Ferriss.
Okay, yeah.
His podcast, but
What's his podcast called?
The Tim Ferriss Hour or something like that.
Yeah. I was going to call it the Experience, but that's
the Gary V audio experience, yeah.
Audio experience! Oh, Gary V!
Yeah.
Gary V!
I like Gary V, but like, man, it's just too much. I just can't.
I can't. And this is my, okay, so this is my problem with Gary V.
Hit me with it.
This is my problem with Gary V.
I'm gonna clip this.
I know, because we haven't even done the intro.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't even done the intro. We're gonna have to record that afterwards. Put that at the front.
I'm good at doing that. I've done that a few times. Don't worry. Yeah.
So here's the deal with Gary V. This is my problem. Okay. Seems like a good guy. Seems like a real good guy. But I don't know what he's selling.
Yeah, he's like selling his brand, right?
Yeah, but like, okay, so okay, I like to believe that I'm a connoisseur of a lot of social media.
Okay.
Right?
I believe that.
Brands are very distinguishable, and I don't mean like big brands like Nike, Adidas, Glad trash bags, like not those kinds of brands, but like a personal brand. So like on Instagram, you've got people who do beauty, people who do wellness and fitness, people who do photography, people who just do like standard like day in the life type of brand management for themselves to put out into the universe and enjoy.
Yeah.
Right? It's all distinguishable. And sometimes there's a myriad of things that begin to interconnect and lace together.
Yeah.
Right? But my problem is, with him, I'm not really getting what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
Because it's really, like, every time I watch one of his videos, I end up on the other side, maybe a little motivated, but mostly just confused.
Yeah, so he has Gary Vaynerchuk, like entrepreneur, CEO of VaynerMedia. Very, very wealthy dude, like doing lots of big stuff. He has VaynerMedia, right, which they do branding stuff. So like that is his actual job. That he runs this. He's the CEO of that, and they do like mostly internet advertising. He's like a madman. Like that's what he does, right? Like he's Don Draper of his time, right?
Okay.
So like he does He does that sort of stuff for like Pepsi and like big companies.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Okay.
Then
so also, it's very confusing because Gary Vee, the Gary Vee audio experience,
you don't
ever hear that.
Yeah.
You don't ever hear what it is that actually is. Okay.
Like
cool.
you have to like go through a lot of their stuff, a lot of his content, which there's a lot. And like he's trying to make a point with that too. Like he puts out a lot of content and he always says like, it takes me like 10 fucking minutes to put out a 30-second video.
Yeah.
Why the fuck aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this sort of stuff? And so like, there's some merit to that. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Yes.
Like it's not hard. We set up like this show and the shit we do is a testament to that.
Yeah.
However, yes. Like it's a lot that he puts out there. So then it becomes this dilution that I don't even want to watch most of it or listen to his podcast because it's almost always the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey Gary, I know.
And I also
move my ass. Do this.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's this cyclical reasoning where he's like, you gotta drive, you gotta want it, you gotta push, you gotta like, and that's what I do, and that's how I got to where I am, and I didn't do it by just sitting on the couch, and like, you gotta stop watching TV, you gotta go out and do it, and I get that, but also your messaging's a little weird because like, I'm sitting down to watch this. Sitting down to listen to you tell me to move.
And he even says, if you watch all of his content, you are fucking up. Like,
yeah.
And he says that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got time to watch my stuff, then you are doing the wrong thing. So like, yeah.
If that's not the truest thing I've ever heard, because like, I only run into his stuff every now and then.
But like, I love his core messages that are basically, like, he basically, I feel like, has two messages. One is, fucking move your own ass. Like, he doesn't say that, but like, move your fucking shit. Do the work.
Yeah.
That's his, like, his go. And then his other one is give more than what you get. Like, be
5149.
Yeah. Be the person who is, like, I forget what he always says, empathetic? Something like that. Be empathetic, like, care about people, take care of people, like, give more than what you get.
So that's a cool message. Yeah, I'm behind that.
But those are two very simple messages, and he puts out probably 20 videos a fucking day, and they all revolve around those two things generally. Yeah. And it's like, so how many times can you actually say the same fucking thing, man?
With different words.
Yeah.
And so then what it becomes? What it becomes is the salesman pitch.
Yeah.
And I think that's what deters me.
Yep.
Because whenever I listen to a salesman, I'm like, I've been in the business, man.
Yeah,
I really don't want to hear it. And
that's how I feel.
Yeah, and like I know all these things.
Yep.
So like you're just reiterating the same things over and over again, and that that doesn't take away from anybody who garners a little bit of excitement or motivation from that. I love listening to some Gary Vee because I like the way he talks. I like the way that he's just like, no, fuck you. He put out a video the other day that was, he was doing some interview on stage. That's the other thing is like, he's just really smart. Yeah. So like he like records everything he does, and then he can cut it up and spit it out whenever. So like he's going to go give a speech, and he's getting paid to give that speech. Well, he also then cuts up that speech. So he's not only getting paid to be there, but then he cuts it up into these little segments, and so for that week, he's got content.
He's got content every fucking day, and he's doing his job. So like, there is a fucking level of intelligence there that's amazing, but also like a level of like, I can't record my life at Target and then cut it all up and put it up there. Like that, my job doesn't allow it.
Well, and he obviously doesn't. He doesn't personally do any of that stuff at this point. Yeah, you know what I mean?
He has a team.
Maybe at one point. Yeah. Maybe at one point, like before
he runs all of his own social media, but he doesn't do all the editing and stuff. Like I guarantee you, he reviews what's going to go up on his Instagram, and then I'll put
approves
it up.
And
like he does all the responding and stuff. There's nobody who responds for him.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ghostwriter. Right. He's not Kanye.
Right. But yeah, anyways, so he's given the speech. He's talking about like how he's a winner, but he also loves the Jets, right? And that's like his thing. And someone in the audience asked if you, something about like, would you want to go to the Patriots game with me or something like that? And Gary was like, no. And the guy was like, well, I thought you liked winners. Because, you know, the Patriots are winners and they're big rivalry with the Jets. And Gary, like, just without even blinking was like, no, I'm sorry. I said I like winners. I don't like watching them. I'm a fucking winner. You like watching winners. There's a difference. And then he like walked off, and I was like, damn.
Oh my god.
And like, but I like that. I like that he's he's a very real guy.
He's like the motivational Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. I actually like Ben Shapiro a lot. Like,
Ben Shapiro. Let's talk about Ben Shapiro.
He's an evil man. Like he's not evil.
No, he's not.
But to me, it's like Lex Luthor. Like if he had twisted him just a little bit and got him to see things like clearly, boy, his powers could be put to good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I really like. I love. There are times when Ben Shapiro takes it a little too far for me, like where he's like talking about like social issues, and I'm just like, man, we just don't see it eye to eye.
Yeah,
right?
we just
like,
don't.
I get the point you're making. I absolutely do, because I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
But like, I just can't buy into what you're saying. But he does a pretty decent job of like putting out content.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he always comes across to me as like a decent person, even though I disagree with him. Like,
yeah. Well, and I think it's because he always end caps everything, all of the like shitty things he says with like, hey, like, I know that not everybody's gonna agree with me on that, and that's fine. Yeah. Because he's a libertarian, and so he's like, I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life, and I don't want you to be told how to live your life because like that's not what I'm trying to sell. So like I really appreciate that. But the first time,
if you guys haven't ever looked at a Ben Shapiro video, you should. He does a lot of like interviews where like he'll do like Q&As.
But like if you listen to this, don't like try to avoid like maybe like the trans rights ones because they're a little too much for me.
He will shut down really stupid. Like Ben's just smart. Like he talks through things, and like conversely he talks to a lot of dumb people, and that's the other problem.
Yeah, he goes to like universities.
Yeah, and where like a lot of college kids get up on their high horse and they're like, I'm gonna tell this guy what freedom should be and like how my rights are being affected, and then he like breaks it down like he will deconstruct your argument piece by piece and then make you look really dumb. Yeah. And
it's really cool because like he'll like all he does is he'll ask questions. Yep. So like, okay, so you believe that. What about this?
Yeah. So what would happen with this? Okay, then you can't believe that and this. Those don't comply. Do you see that? And anyways, long tangent about what I was looking up on my phone.
Yes.
Tim Ferriss is he does. Let's just make sure I got his show.
Oh my God! I forgot you were looking up Tim Ferriss, and that's how we got into Gary Vee.
That's how we got into Gary Vee because Tim Ferriss audio experience, which is not a thing.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's just the Tim Ferriss show, but yeah, okay, the Tim Ferriss show. If you guys aren't following Tim Ferriss, you should. He puts out a really great podcast. He also has a blog that's fucking huge. He did the 4-Hour Workweek. Which is like super. That's like one of the best selling books of the last fucking 5 years or something. Yeah. Just does a lot of really cool shit. What I like about Tim is that like what I like specifically about his show is that I can dive into it and dive out like. Because it kind of reminds me of our show. Like there are some times where like you might find that topic very intriguing.
Very intriguing. But then like
5 episodes could go by and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of that, Tim.
Right.
And then another episode drops in and I'm like, oh fuck. 5 like tips on how to sleep better. Cool, I want to listen to that. Yeah. What the fuck does he do? Because like Tim does weird shit. Like he's into like all these different esoteric things. So like he's into yoga and gymnastics and powerlifting and ketogenics and like just very, very like different. Wide range of things. He has talked to very interesting people who do very interesting things. So like he's the one who I learned that story about Arnold Schwarzenegger when Arnold when him and his friend were trying to make money, and so they're like that earthquake came through California, destroys a bunch of people's patios, and Arnold and his friend, who are both from like Italy, or his friend's from Italy, he's from Austria or whatever, but they're European, right? And so all these fucking rich white people in fucking like California are like, they want European bricklayers, and so they would go to the houses and then like speak in different languages and yell about things. Arnold would play the nice guy and he'd be like, all right, listen, buddy, like it's gonna cost like $5,000. What the fuck? I can't believe it's gonna be that much to fix this. And then the Italian dude would start yelling in Italian and he'd go, listen, I'll try to talk him down. Like, what did you think it was gonna cost? And the guy would be like, I thought, at the most like $3,000. And then he'd go back and they'd talk in Italian and then he'd come back to the guy and be like, all right, man, it's going to be $3,500. That's the best I could get down to. You know? And then the guy would be like, oh, thank God, thank you so much. And that's how we made our money. And then they'd go and fix his patio for like half the fucking price. And but I learned that from the Tim Ferriss show because he has this really interesting interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And one of the things that I liked a lot about one of the episodes recently was he was talking about how he does like questions that he always asks in an interview, and I can't find that right now. I wish I had made a note of it, but like he will do it when he's interviewing somebody, and he has some standard ones that are like, what's a book that you've always gifted to somebody? Like, what's a common book that you give to somebody? And I forget. He has a few other ones, and it's the other ones that I can't remember right now. Yeah. But as I was Googling that to see, I forgot in Tools of Titans, which is the book that I just read.
By Tim Ferriss.
Yeah, by Tim Ferriss. Which is an amazing book. Again, just like the podcast, you can dive into it, like read on like different tips on health and wealth and like all this cool stuff.
Right.
There are 17, he has a list of 17 questions that have dramatically changed my life. Each one is time-stamped as they are entered with a picture of the precise moment of when this happened. But just like really cool stuff that this is from the book, so there's not timestamps here, but cool questions that like as I was thinking through like interviewing you. Yeah. He asks things that make you think. Like one of the questions is, what if I created my own real world MBA? He actually talks about that in the book in depth, and it's really, really cool. Like what he thinks they should do and like what he ended up doing. Like he figured out how much it was going to cost to go do an MBA. And then what he decided to do instead was take out a loan or whatever for that amount of money. Yeah. And then started investing it, and he got like advice from different investors and figured out how to smartly invest that money. But he did it like, instead of like safely investing it, he was investing it like kind of in risky spots. Yeah. But like more like as an angel investor, right? Yeah. So you're funding startups and stuff like that. And so he started doing that with the money that he would have spent to get an MBA, and he had some losses. Yeah. But over time, he actually made much more money than it would have cost him to even get his MBA. And then the money that he could have then started making because he has an MBA. And so like, just genius, right?
Oh my God.
But one of the questions on here that I wanted to ask you, where the fuck is it? What do I spend a silly amount of money on? What's something you think you spend a silly amount of money on?
What do I spend a silly amount of money on? That's difficult.
The follow-up is, what are you price insensitive to?
What does that mean?
So price insensitive is kind of how I live my life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So like
not looking at prices.
Yeah, I'm very
stupid.
Being very stupid. So like what's something I'm very price insensitive about? Food. Okay. I make a certain amount of money, right? But I don't budget my food at all. Yeah. Like I don't think about what I'm going to spend on food. If I want Taco Bell yesterday, I get Taco Bell. Yeah. If I want to go to Costco today and buy all the food that I need for a week, I buy it. And like I don't think those things through at all. And I don't look at prices when I'm shopping. Like I don't think like, ooh, eggs are on sale this week. I always eat eggs. I should buy eggs now, even though I don't need them. Right. I will need them. Yeah. I don't think about that sort of thing. I'm very price insensitive to that.
Yeah. I really don't. I don't look at prices when I go shopping, and I should. Yeah. I really should, especially when it comes to like you said, groceries and that sort of stuff. Like if it's a big ticket item, which I very rarely ever buy big ticket items. I will always look at the price, and I'll be like, is this the right time? How much money do I have? Should I do it? As far as a silly amount of money, I think the only things that I spend like a silly amount of money on, like, is probably like toiletries and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Like, I always go for like name brand, like toilet paper. I will get like a specific kind of hair product because I'm really particular about that.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Okay.
Like anything for my bathroom, anything for my, self-maintenance, that I will spend a silly amount of money on. Because once again, when I go to the store, I don't look at the prices.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just like, okay, that's fine. And I usually buy that kind of stuff in like piecemeal, so it doesn't hit me like all at once.
Right, yeah.
That's about it.
Which then also spreads out your budget, and then
Yeah. So then I'm like,
it's like $5. It's 12 times.
Yeah, right.
But,
yeah. So what do you spend a silly amount of money on? Amazon Dash.
Yeah, but like I feel like I'm saving money there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just it piqued my interest when I saw it because I know I'm very bad with money. Like I just am not smart with it. So like one of the things I'm going to do this year in April, when I get more money.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Side eye the camera. Who's watching this?
There's a good chance everybody go shop at Target. Maybe I make some money.
Yep.
But if I get a decent amount, then I'm going to be smarter with that money. And not the way that I spend it. I'm going to use that money to buy like stocks. I have money invested.
Yeah.
I'm invested.
Yeah.
But like it's all in mutual funds that like they're going to pay me out when I'm like 69.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy like every share of Microsoft that I can, or every share of Facebook that I can, with that money.
Yeah.
And just let it ride.
Yeah.
And like watch it.
That would be really cool.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm either gonna do that or I'm going to buy a house that I can rent out. One of the two things.
Well, the other day I went over to my landlord's house. My landlord is amazing.
Yeah.
I've told you about him. He's fantastic, right? The homie. He actually watches the podcast every
Wasn't he on our live stream this morning? No, different Jim.
What do you mean?
The live stream when we were trapped.
I don't think he was.
Somebody named Jim was on there. You yelled at them.
Oh no, that was Jim Corman. That's okay. Got it. Yes.
I was like,
my landlord Jim. He watches the podcast every now and then. He's giving me some serious advice about acoustics in the studio.
Right.
He's actually giving me this huge, this massive cloth that I need to put up here and there and whatever. But anyway, I was late on rent because of circumstances in my living situation, I had to prioritize those things versus going and dropping off my rent to him.
Gotcha.
And so I gave him a call and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. He was like, no big deal. You handle what you've got to handle, whatever. Like, I'll get it when I get it. I know you're good for it.
What a nice guy, Jim.
So I go over and we drink.
Jim, start giving a Patreon, maybe.
We drink, yeah, right. So we drink half a bottle of wine together.
All right.
And then we're sitting there and he starts talking about finances. And he's like, you should really think about buying your house that you live in. And I was like, I've thought about it, but I really don't want to be stuck in Fort Wayne. He was like, I get that. But here's the deal. In 1970, I bought my first property because the housing market crashed because the economy was on a decline. And he was like, so I bought my first house then. And then he was like, I think he got that paid off. And then he immediately bought another property. And then he made the rent for the property that he had paid off the housing payment for the house he was living in.
Yeah.
Now the dude has 19 properties. He gets taxed out of the ass because he's Like,
Because he owns all these houses.
Because he owns all these houses. He's getting the people who pay the rent to him get part of that rent paid back to them in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to pay out more from the income that he receives. But he's done an amazing job of taking what wealth he did have and investing it.
Yeah.
And so now, with all of his properties, all of his investments, he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
Dude's a fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
Because he just was really fucking smart with his money.
Yeah. And that's the shit they don't teach you in school. They teach you in school, be smart, go to college, get a job.
And then the job like gives you a certain amount of money that will get you through until you die.
Yeah.
And like and
then you are working to die the rest of your life. And like I was thinking about that because like I love my car, right?
Yeah.
I love my car. And I don't think I would ever go back.
Yeah.
Because I wanted this car for the longest time.
Yeah.
So like, but it just never had really occurred to me that I could walk into pretty much any bank and get a loan.
Yeah.
Because I got a loan for that car.
Yep.
And like I put like whatever it was, 10, 12,000 down on that car.
Yeah.
But I still had to get a loan. And I was like, why didn't I just do that and get a loan to buy a house?
Yeah.
And then I don't need to live in the house. I'll stay living in my apartment and I will charge the rent of that to be the amount that is my rent for my apartment plus whatever.
Yeah.
And I will make $200 a month on that investment.
Yeah.
Instead of the car, which is like, I love the car, but I'm never gonna make money off of that car.
Yeah.
Right? So like I'm just paying this debt now that I owe. And like it's great. I love my car. I want to grab my car, and I love going fast. And
right.
But it opened my eyes to the fact that like, wait, getting a car loan is the same thing. Like, okay, I went to the dealership, which is probably not the smartest thing. Whatever. Right. But like, I could do that a lot smarter. And so like, if I went back, I would do things differently there.
Yeah.
I'd probably still get the car, but like, I would do things differently in my life earlier on. So like. In my because I've been independent since I was 17.
Yeah.
Like I would have done things very different in my early 20s to have set myself up to now in my 30s be like kind of reaping some of those benefits instead of now figuring out in my 30s and gonna reap those benefits in like my 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys, and we will catch you on the next one. I was like, wait, now do we go right into the exit?
Right into the exit?
How's this gonna work?